This edition of the Ridley Report is brought to you by...
Hey, don't get mad, get video, go to RidleyReport.com.
Christians have a saying, rejoice when you are persecuted. Actually, it's not just Christians, it's the New Testament itself. Maybe us liberty folk, many of whom are Christians, would benefit from maybe taking that philosophy a little more to heart. The difference I sense between the New Hampshire Liberty Movement and Gandhi's bunch, or Dr. King's folks, is this. The Gandhi folk set out to embrace indignity with dignity. Yeah, sure, some of the liberty folk do that, but the most common response I see when a liberty arrest occurs is a sort of non-violent mob scene, or a complaint fest right there on the spot.
Leave him alone! Leave him alone! Leave him alone! Leave him alone!
It's not a terrible reaction. It's interesting, gets people talking, it can increase attention, but it gives a little bit of credence to the folks who want to write us off as whiners. Our suffering, the injustice we endure, is part of the process of getting to liberty. It seems to me as though some of us have lost track of that fact, or maybe never tracked it in the first place. Present company not accepted.
Help! Someone help me!
That's me there doing a little complaining of my own. Anyhow, point I'm trying to make is that
We shall overcome.
we should try to imitate that which has been most successful in the past. This is what worked in the early 60s. Quiet dignity in the face of the hissing rabble. Maybe a movement requires a certain level of maturity to display this as its MO. Maybe it must reach a certain size and achieve a certain status. A status where it gets effortless publicity all the time anyway, without yelling or complaining. If you think about it, when a movement is just one person, it often has to resort to desperate measures to get attention. Violence or threats are sometimes perceived as needed when there's that much desperation. A movement of 10 or 100 people may be able to use civil disobedience effectively. When you're at the 1,000 or 10,000 mark locally, you may be able to skip civil disobedience altogether and jump straight toward the objectives of civil disobedience. Publicity, repeal legislation, changes in cultural attitudes. With these numbers, you can probably generate those yourself. You won't have to rely so much on the mainstream media or your rulers. That's kind of where the movement is right now in New Hampshire, or it's reaching that point, but I don't think we've really gotten to the point where we can set aside civil disobedience. We're just reaching a point, I think, where it doesn't have to be angry civil disobedience.
Do you have a message for the Ron Paul movement? Do you have a product for the New Hampshire Liberty community? Then stop keeping it a secret. Head on over to
RidleyReport.com. Email Ridley
and purchase an ad. There is no humiliation nor privation Ridley will not endure to ensure your message gets out.
RidleyReport.com.